Hopefully somebody watch it. Okay. So like I said, I have not done this. So I had to do an introduction. All right. So sorry. Welcome to another ooh, let's try that again. Welcome to another episode of Autonomous Birth. I am joined by Rachel today. Rachel, I believe you went to Seabrook, right?
Yes,
Technically,
yes.
we went to Seabrook together, but we didn't know each
Mhm.
other. But we met each other through our best friend. And Rachel has a little one, so she joined me today. So to
Yes.
start, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Whatever you want to tell me, your age, whatever. We'll go from there.
I'm sorry. I'm so new to this.
It's fine.
But
It's just Niger, so
yes, I know it's weird. But yeah, so it's funny because I'm actually trying to get into content stuff. So it's like weird talking to. It's like,
hmm
yeah. But
this is gonna help you though.
yes, it's an introduction. But
Speak of the devil, Jeffrey just texted me. Hold on, let me put this
of
on. Do not disturb. Um,
Jeffrey.
okay,
Jeffrey.
proceed.
So about myself. Let's see. About myself.
Don't look at
I don't
me. Just
know.
look.
I swear, something's wrong with me because, like, I don't know about myself. Like, I feel like every day I get up and I just focus on today, and I don't,
Mhm.
I don't know anything else outside of what's going on right now.
Rachel is pursuing a degree.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm
Um,
doing. Thank you. Okay, let me start over. So I'm pursuing a master's degree in social work. I want to be a licensed clinical social worker. And I'm actually going to be starting an internship, a field work experience in June at a mental health private practice. So I can get into that. I'm excited. I'm leaving my 9 to 5 because I hate them. And yeah, yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
So all right. So the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Tell us about your pregnancy. Uh, I guess to start, like, how'd you feel when you found out you were pregnant? How did you realize? Everybody's different. Some people just know their
Yeah.
body. Some people, spit up after a night of drinks. So how did you
I
find out?
never, yeah, I thankfully didn't have any type of morning sickness or anything like that. But how did I feel? I felt weird. It was like, like the dong, like type of like
Mm-hmm.
feeling. That's how I felt. I just felt like that, and I was really hot. Like, I don't know, but I know that that's a thing, like for with your
Yeah.
basal. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
I was actually, I don't know, I was confused because I was very excited because I actually always wanted to be a mother, even though I know that's not modern of me to want to be a
Who cares?
yeah,
Your life.
but yeah, but it's like I always wanted that. And even though it's funny because even when I was like a little kid, and I would draw a family, I would
Mm-hmm.
always draw myself with kids, and I wouldn't draw a husband. But yeah, I don't know. So I think I might have manifested something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but when I found out, I actually I had my period still,
Mm.
even though I was pregnant. So I wasn't really sure, and even the doctors, I mean, yeah, they weren't even sure either when my due date was going to be, and they were like off 3 different times. So yeah, but it was a cool experience. Because I didn't have any morning sickness. I was just tired, and I listened to my body, and I went to sleep when I wanted to go to sleep, and I ate what I wanted to eat when I wanted to eat it. Like, so I would say like my pregnancy, like physically, my pregnancy was like it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
I
liked
love to
it.
hear that.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't have any like bad symptoms. I mean, I kind of had acne before, but I had it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't really bothered by that. So whatever. Yeah.
Well, I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
So I know you said that like you had dreamed of being a mother, not dreamed, but like you really wanted to be a mother. So with that, did you have any thoughts about like what you wanted your birth to look like, or was it just like I know I want a family?
Yes, I didn't get that part. I didn't get
Mm-hmm.
that because I like with Maryland, because I guess, we're such a like hospital, like, John Hopkins,
Mm-hmm.
type of state. So I wanted to have like the doula midwife birthing center experience, but there's not a whole lot of that here.
Yeah.
Like I would have had to go to like Virginia or
Yeah.
something, and I was like, that's too much. Like that would have been too much coordinating, and then on top of that, a lot of insurance doesn't even cover doulas and stuff. So I was like, it would have been like $10,000 out of
Mm-hmm.
pocket, and I was like, so I had to do the hospital way. I did, and I tell this to everybody. I'm like, get on the government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like, I did that, and I would have had to pay so much money for having a baby.
Which is ridiculous
it,
because
it it's
don't you
so
want me to
much.
populate the earth? Like it should
Yeah,
be
I'm
free.
like, they want us to, and they always telling me how birth rate, which they are, birth rates are declining. Public schools
Mm-hmm.
are trying to be closing down because no one's going anymore. But
Yeah.
I'm like, but yet they don't have everything set up where they're supporting mothers or pregnant women
Mm-hmm.
having babies. So it's frustrating. But I was so glad that I got on Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare. Yeah, and I didn't have to pay a thing.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, so I was like, I was so thankful for that. And but I would say when my the actual birth, like it was the things that I didn't want because I
Mm-hmm.
was in a hospital. Like I had to get it. I got an epidural because they were like, you should get one now or whatever, because
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, they're the medical professionals, so I got one now, but it was too early. So then it wore off when it was at the height of my contractions, and that was a mess, and I had to beg like a crackhead for for a second dose. Because I'm saying like a crackhead because that's how they made me feel, because
Mm-hmm.
they had the anesthesiologist and two other nurses, I think, come in and like ask me all these questions like I'm abusing drugs or something, like, and I'm like, you
Or
see
I'm in
my
labor. Like
exactly. You see how high it's
yeah.
going right now. Like it was there. Like, and I'm up here crying, like in pain, and I'm like, they're not trying to give it to me. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to. But it was like a whole back and forth thing for at least 5 minutes while I'm having contractions, and then they finally gave me the other one. Because I'm like, at the end of the day, y'all shouldn't have given me it. This is my first time out here. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't know.
Y'all do this every day. Like
Yeah, like I'm like, I don't know, y'all said. So
mm-hmm.
I thought like, and they were inducing my labor. So I thought that it was just everything was gonna,
Yeah.
just roll out, but it didn't even happen that way. And I almost had to have a C-section. But one nurse, thankful for her, and I'm so mad I don't remember her name. I need to probably go on my chart or something, but she gave me this one position and I fell asleep in it, and when I woke up I was finally ready. Like
Oh,
I
she
was
needs a raise.
yeah, because they were like, you're not dilated enough. I'm like, we're gonna give you a little bit more time, and it was like literally the last
Mm-hmm.
time they checked, and I was like the perfect amount, and I was so thankful for her. It was like a ball, like a yoga ball that I had between my legs, and I was on the side, like, and
Mm-hmm.
I just slept in that position, and it helped open up. So yeah,
I'm shocked that you slept like that. But
J-
also when you're exhausted, it's like
I was
I'll
not.
sleep anyway.
Yeah, I was like, by that time I was able to get my second epidural. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like kind of numb down there. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's why I was able to just fall asleep like that and not move.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay, so I got to back up a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, what you thinking, Audra? Okay, that's what I'm thinking. So, like, okay, when you found out you was pregnant, did you like go with the your regular GYN, or like did you find a new person? Did that person make you feel safe and heard? Whoever you had, whether it be your regular or somebody else.
My OBGYN, I'm actually back with her now. I love her so much, Dr.
Good.
White. But yeah, I love her so much. But I couldn't have her because, I didn't want to have to pay for my labor and
Oh
stuff. So I
yeah.
had to go. So I couldn't use her anymore for that. But I wish, like, if I end up doing this a second time, which I probably will in a couple of years or something, or at least I'll try to, but I would definitely go to her because she's
Mm-hmm.
the best. But So I ended up having my son at GBMC. I was born
Mm-hmm.
there too, and um, he was a good doctor. He wasn't very personable
Mm-hmm.
though, and I don't know. I sometimes I felt like he was just like, okay, next type
Mm-hmm.
of vibe, and I'm like, I don't really know if that's because, I mean, sometimes, my son's father would be there, but most of the time it was just me by myself. So I don't know if it was because, oh, I'm just this young looking black girl, or if it's because maybe he seen my insurance. I don't know what the reason
Both
was, but
reasons are not valid, but I follow.
yeah.
But
So I just know that he was just like kind of like pushing
yeah.
out the way type of. Mm.
Um. Okay. My brain is mush.
Me too.
But you mentioned your son's father. Sorry. So no, I'm jumping the gun. Okay. Rewind.
Okay.
So okay. I haven't done this in like a year.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's
So tell me, I know we talked a little bit about your birth and labor, but tell me the actual story. So like when you realize, oh, I'm in labor, and then going to the hospital and all the things.
so mine was very planned because I had to be induced.
Hmm.
So he was not actually he was his first what was his first due date was in March, but then they found out that that was wrong and it was actually like April 10th or something like that. And then I was actually really annoyed by that because my birthday is April 5th and I I didn't want us to have the same birthday.
Reasonable.
Yes, so I was like, like I was like, "Oh my gosh, please don't come
Hmm.
on my birthday." And I had like what is that called? I think it's called Braxton Hicks. I like
Hmm.
yeah, so I was thinking that he was gonna show up on my birthday. But no, it was just, the fake old cramps. And then I had to get induced at 41 weeks
Hmm.
because he stayed in there. He was born on the 23rd of April. And yeah, so the when we got there, well, first it was like a whole thing about me getting a spot there, and they were acting like they didn't have room for me. So I was
Hmm.
like, am I supposed to not have the baby? But they like it was like a whole back and forth. They're like, we have to see if there's available beds, and I was like, I was like, I'm already past due. I was like, how
Yeah.
much longer am I supposed to wait, because it's more riskier the longer you wait. So I'm just like, it was like a whole thing, and that was low key a little bit of stressful, but it only lasted for maybe like 4 hours or whatever of
Hmm.
not knowing what's gonna happen. But I was definitely kind of like nervous because I'm like, why are you playing with me like this?
Yeah.
So we got there, and thankfully it was when we actually got there, it was pretty smooth. Like I think we only waited for like 30 minutes, and then we got a room, which actually I was scared again because it was like another woman and she was arguing back and forth with the receptionist because she wasn't able to get a room. So I was like, oh my gosh, is this going to be me? And so but yeah, I was so happy. And then after that, everything kind of went really fast. Like I was
Hmm.
saying, like about like they put the Foley bulb up in there, and I was walking around with the
Davi.
little, yeah, the IV and everything. And then but I'm because everything went so fast and I wasn't prepared to be past due. I didn't, I
Hmm.
guess, research enough. And like they did tell me like, oh, you're not supposed to eat, but I didn't know that I was in labor for 36 hours, so I did not know, like.
And that's insane. You don't want me to eat for 36 hours? Fuck
I
off.
was
Oh,
I was
Jesus.
drinking juice. No, you're so right. Like that was the worst feeling ever, to just be on juice, like the little
Hmm.
hospital juice cups. Like what? Like I wanted somebody to sneak me in some food so bad, but I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know I probably could have looked it up to see what would happen. Maybe you might
Nothing.
throw
You
up.
might just, they don't want you to do it because, excuse me,
Mhm.
something about like if you have to get a C-section or something like that.
Oh.
Um, but I had a C-section with my first child and I was destroying some like sandwich. They had these amazing, that was the only good thing that hospital gave me. I mean, technically I gave myself the kid, so whatever. But
Right, right. That's the only thing.
yeah, they had these Lay's baked chips and sandwiches, but that's just a side note. But yeah, it's something about the C-section,
Dang.
I think.
Okay, that makes sense then. I guess like, but I was just
No.
like, I was playing by the rules and I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Like, I was so mad. I was hungry. I was hungry. Like, it was depressing in there. Like, time was going by so slow. Like, yeah. But other than that, I mean, I guess it was good. My son's father, he was supportive for the
Hmm.
whole labor part. He was there. Didn't bring the game. But no shade or whatever. But
No,
cause
it's just funny.
yeah, like
um.
he was attentive pretty much
Mhm.
though, like to like you need anything and stuff like that. I really should have said I need some fries, but yeah, it was. I think it was a good like yeah. The pushing experience was crazy. Even though I'm glad I was numbed, but
Mhm.
it was like a crazy like feel like sensation like and then what they call it the ring of fire. uh,
So you did feel it, even with
I
the epidural. Okay.
yeah, like it was like a intense because she did like the I did like my delivery. I think she was a doctor. I think she actually was a doctor who delivered
Hmm.
my son. I liked her. She had a great personality, and she was like, even though you have the epidural, they was like, we call it the ring of fire, and you're gonna feel that. Like it's
Hmm.
like so it wasn't painful, but it was like intense pressure where it was like it could. I feel like that would have been if I didn't have the epidural, I
It was
probably would have
felt like your
screaming.
ass was falling out.
Yeah, I was like,
Mm.
oh, that's bad. But
Oh.
because I felt it like I could felt like I was like, it wasn't his shoulders, I think that's what that is.
Hmm.
But I was like, oh no. But yeah, and then he just came right back out. And then I like as soon as he was born, like I feel like I turned into an animal. And I was just like, where is he? Like, and I just that's all I like. It's like animal instinct, and that's all I cared about after that. She's up here just throwing me up and talking to me,
Hmm.
and I'm like,
I
uh-huh.
don't care about that.
Yeah. I just hear him over there crying.
Uh,
Yeah.
this is going to be scatterbrained, but it's okay because it's a
Hmm.
conversation. So who cares?
Yeah.
Did you guys do like a childbirthing class or anything together, you and your partner, or you by yourself?
No, I should have, but I just feel like I feel like I was out here doing stuff I'm like my partner, he was very supportive, but I was out here doing stuff by myself. Like,
Hmm.
and so I remember like I don't know, I was just tired. Like nobody was trying to take the initiative to be like, let me drive you to this or like, take care of me in that
Hmm.
way. So I didn't really do a lot. I remember I did like look up a lot of things on YouTube like that and I just DIY'd it. I bought a little actually my cousin bought it for me. I know if she was in Maryland, she's in Virginia. If she was in Maryland, she would have took care of me because she's
Hmm.
actually a death doula, but she
Hmm.
also dabbled in like birth doula and she likes kids and stuff like that. So I remember she sent me like a care package and she
That's
bought me
nice.
like a one of those yoga balls and stuff.
Hmm.
Like so like I used to like watch YouTube videos and do stuff by myself in the house.
Um, and do you feel this is not a judgment question? This is because I
Hmm.
feel like sometimes I ask questions. I'm like, that sounded judgy. Do you feel that it helped you at all?
You said does
Do
it
you feel like the YouTube helped you at all? The videos and stuff that you were watching?
I don't know if I feel like just doing it though was like a therapy because I like doing like yoga and I like stretching anyway,
Hmm.
so it just felt like something to physical to do. Like,
Hmm.
yeah. So I guess it did help me, and but not. I guess I can't say what it helped with because they were like, this is supposed to help to
Yes.
release the. I don't know, but mentally, I guess like it
Hmm.
it felt good to do.
And you mentioned that you mentioned that the girl, come on. The doctor that you were seeing during your pregnancy was a man, but I know you said the doctor that delivered you was a woman. So had you met her prior to, or she was just the person that was on staff at the house,
Yeah, she
the
was on
hospital?
that. Yeah, she was just what was on who was on staff, and I actually
Mhm.
had a feeling because I saw like maybe 2 weeks before that he was on vacation. He was
Oh,
gonna be on
great.
vacation before, but I already had a feeling that because I watch shows and things, and I
Hmm.
I know that sometimes your doctor isn't who would be available to deliver your baby. But because of how he wasn't that type of doctor to me, I had
Mm-hmm.
a feeling it wasn't going to be him
Yeah.
anyway. So, yeah, I was like, I guess I wasn't a big time enough to be one of his babies on the wall. So,
They do have the babies up
yeah,
there.
I was like, I remember looking at all them, and then I did not see myself on that wall.
Hmm.
So, I didn't think that was going to happen, honestly.
And I know you mentioned earlier, like the nurse was like, I can't remember, but how were the nurses at the hospital? Because I feel like what I've
Mhm.
heard, I feel like GBMC gets mixed reviews and
You, they
mixed
give you what?
reviews
Yeah.
from like the mothers that have kids there. So how was the staff for you aside from the
I
doctor?
I agree with the mixed reviews
Hmm.
because like it was like for the most part all of the nurses I liked them. They had great personalities. Most of them were like in our, you know, late 20 early 30 age.
Hmm.
They were very charismatic and helpful and supportive in their words and stuff like that. I remember I had a problem with the anesthesiologist that had came in that was like, because it was just the way she was talking to me when I was like, saying I need another epidural or whatever. Like she was so, I hated her. She was so rude. Like
Hmm.
it was, I don't know, like she belittled me when she was
Hmm.
talking to me and I did not like her. Um, yeah, everybody else was pretty cool. Like, and obviously besides my doctor. But yeah,
Hmm.
I agree with the mixed reviews and then the receptionist that I was saying, even though she gave me the room, she was short.
Hmm.
I just feel like that type. I understand, it's a hospital, it's busy, it's a lot of emotions that go on, and you have to like remain on your job even
Yeah.
though it's high emotions, but you like I feel like in the labor delivery, like I feel like you need to like have some type of bedside manner.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
yeah.
And they just failed to do that.
Yes.
Um. Okay. So and you didn't have a doula, right? I know you mentioned one, but I didn't know if you a doula. I be talking fast. I'm sorry. I'm trying to
No,
work on
it's
that.
cool. No, I am too, actually. More
I've
than
been trying to work on
here.
it for like 15 years, but there's improvement. I promise.
But no, I didn't have. I was like, when I saw how much they run, I didn't even push any further. I had reached
Hmm.
out to like one or two, and then I was one of them. She was, I could tell she was booked and busy because I don't even think her email, her automated email or whatever
Hmm.
receptionist got back to me until I was like almost due, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But I abandoned the idea by that point anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Next
Mm.
time, hopefully, I'm in a better spot
Yeah.
where I
And
can
now
do
they
that.
cover it too, like
Oh,
Medicare.
really?
I always get Medicare and Medicaid mixed up, but
Yeah, me
it
too.
covers the doula.
Okay.
So the fun part of it all, well, it depends on who you're talking to. Postpartum.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Hell. Sorry. I'm
well
kidding.
then. How was I'm trying to think of how you want to approach this. So, well, rewind. Actually, we're gonna rewind because you said you like your animal instincts kicked in when the baby was born.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be mushy for like 2 seconds. When you did finally get
Aw.
to hold him and stuff, like what did that feel like, and how do you react?
I was. Oh my gosh. So I feel like I was like removed. Like I like I think I was in shock a little bit
Hmm.
when I finally held him because I just remember staring at him and I can't even tell you if I spoke. I feel like in my head maybe I was speaking,
Hmm.
but I don't know if I was. I just remember just being into him. But I do remember and I love that feeling. I remember the feeling more. And I remember when I held him and I remember we just looked at each other and he wasn't like he wasn't screaming anymore. And I
Hmm.
think that's why I don't know if words were spoken because I feel like we both may have just been in the moment of like, oh, this is that lady, and I'm like, oh, this is that baby. So
That's the one
it's
eating the hot
like,
Cheetos.
yeah, yes, this is the lady that was feeding me all this
Hmm.
time and laughing like that, like.
Yes.
But
Okay.
yeah, it was a nice, it was a calm. I feel like it was a calm a calm moment. And I actually
Mhm.
didn't want a whole lot of people in the room with me. So that's it was just like, yeah, it was what I wanted.
I'm glad you said that. So was it
Yeah.
just you and your partner there?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't want like I don't I love my mother and but I just
What's love got to do with it?
exactly. I didn't want say something or people
Mhm.
intruding. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know yourself, and then you know your mother, and it's like,
Yes.
I don't need that energy right now.
I didn't want
Or
the
not saying it's
overbearing.
bad energy, but like
It's overbearing energy, or at least
you
in my
said it. I
at
didn't say that, mother. It was Rachel.
I said it, Mom.
But yeah, that's because some people are different. Some people want like the whole family in there for the occasion, and some people like
I
us
mean,
are
that's
like,
great. Like
for them.
that, yeah, that's great for them. I didn't have that type of family,
Yeah.
so yeah, no.
Okay, now we're gonna jump to postpartum.
Okay.
So that first few days home, what was that like?
Oh my gosh, how I need to now. I have to think
If you
about
can
what I
remember, I was gonna
say.
say, my God.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. So my okay, so my first, it's funny. I regretted it right after, but as soon as we came home, I went for a walk.
Why?
Cause I think I was stir I was stir crazy from being in the hospital like for I guess it was 3 days technically,
Hmm.
and I just like I liked it when we were doing it, but obviously when I got back home, like if you know, you know,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done this, so I laid down. But yeah, I was like, let's take the stroller and let's just take him to get some fresh air for his first day out or something like that,
It was
and
your
then.
first day out.
It was me, but it's
Right.
funny because he loves outside.
Mm.
So,
You started
like,
something.
I was gonna say maybe, but my first few days, like I think my mother she came to stop by. Obviously, like the second day, the next day she came and she stopped by and like visited, and I don't know if somebody else did, but I kind of let it be known that I didn't really want that right away
Mhm.
because I just wanted to bond to like
Yeah.
and just be and just like obviously I'm on maternity leave and I just wanted quiet and just I just want to know my baby. Like I didn't want everybody else interjecting and crowding and I don't know. I'm a DIY Miss
Mhm.
Independent type of person. So yeah, I just wanted my space. And I don't know, I just remember those first few days being like I don't like airy and light. And it
Mhm.
was, it was the end of spring because it was the end of April. So it was like nice weather. The sun was out. Like we had it just was a nice, I remember if I can think back on it, it just feels like a nice vibe. Like for what
Mhm.
I remember, I was wearing sundresses, you know, and breastfeeding. And it just,
Mhm.
I don't know, it felt like what I wanted. Only thing that was missing was that I wasn't in a tropical forest in a tree house with my baby.
Okay. All right, Jane. That
That's how I was. I was just like,
Disney movie.
yes.
Oh, okay. You mentioned like boundaries essentially, basically. So it's
Yeah.
like this is a two-parter.
Hmm.
Prior to pregnancy and everything, do you feel like you are a boundary girl? I guess I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Like you were very like chill, or
Yeah.
did pregnancy bring that out of you?
I would say the pregnancy brought it. I was just talking to somebody about this. Like, I feel like I didn't have a lot of boundaries. I feel like, yeah, I didn't have a lot of boundaries. I would get hurt a lot by
Mhm.
people around me. And then after my son was born, I kind of distance myself from things I didn't like. I set boundaries. I was more firm about things or mean.
Mhm.
Like so and I
That's
knew
not.
I feel like I knew exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, I lied. It's a three-part question.
Okay.
The second part was given that you weren't like that prior to pregnancy. Was it hard for you to do so after pregnancy, like to enforce those boundaries, to talk to your partner about those boundaries and things like that?
It wasn't hard for me to do it because I feel like everything once my son was born, it was like everything was like, okay, I need to do this for him. Like,
Hmm.
because if I don't put in action, I'm not going to get what I want.
Yeah.
So it was just, that was easy. It was difficult though, because I got pushback from people
Hmm.
that I thought was going to support, the bigger picture of
Yeah.
everything. So yeah.
You just answered the third question, really. It was the
Okay.
people, because people, like, even if it's easy for us, they, like, could you say something about being mean? And I was like, somebody
Hmm.
probably told her she was mean for
Yeah.
whatever reason. I
Yes.
was like, no, I'm protecting me and my family. Or not protecting, but this is what brings me peace, my family. Like,
Yes, I'm like,
nothing.
I like when, like the type of person I am. When I was pregnant, the first thing I found when I found I was pregnant, I started looking into schools and
Mhm.
type of education I want him to learn. I
Girl,
was
he ain't got no
already,
internet.
I was no, yeah, it was like that. Like I was in the first trimester. I was in the first trimester in my notes on my iPhone,
Hmm.
just putting, okay, I think I like this Montessori, and we're
Hmm.
gonna do this, and we're gonna do this government program. Like, and it's funny because we're doing all of that right now. So I'm just like, but some people they just don't see the vision, and they just like,
But you saw it.
I saw the vision, and they're like, oh, she's being mean or she's being rude, disrespectful. I'm like, how am I being disrespectful if I sounded my boundaries?
Yeah,
You know.
that part's fun.
Yeah, it's difficult. It was so
Yeah,
difficult.
I think it brings, like, at least. Well, I ain't got that many mommy friends. Well, I do that now. Actually, I lied. That was a lie.
Hmm.
But I do think, like, pregnancy or giving a birth in general, even if it's like after the baby, definitely gives you that. I don't want to say backbone, like people didn't have it before, but the oomph to be like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I be real like,
Yeah, like
no,
I
I
don't
said what I
care.
said
Yeah,
actually.
you can either get with it or go home. Like those are your two options. We'll be
Hit
good
the
either
road.
way,
Right.
basically.
That'd be I'm just like, all right, well, I
I'm not
don't
about to
care.
back down. Like,
Yeah.
um, okay. So on the flip side of the naysayers and all those people, like who was really there for you? I don't like that question because I don't want you to get in trouble with people. Rewind. I want to reword that.
I like trouble.
I don't. It depends. It depends on the situation.
I'm kidding.
Um, how were you supported during postpartum? And what ways are you like, oh, this is great? And did you feel like, okay, we're gonna do one question at a time, not just
Okay.
how are you supported?
Okay. I was mostly supported by my mother. At least initially first. Because she at the well, she's still in education, but she was a teacher, so she
Mm-hmm.
had summers off, and it was like perfect
Mm-hmm.
timing. So that whole summer, that was my lady, because
Mm-hmm.
I think I had three. Well, it was initially 3 months of maternity leave, um, but I extended. I used my PTO and made it 4 months. So yeah. So after that 4 months, it was so sad.
Yeah.
I was so sad. But yeah, she was my lady for like the last 2 months, and then I would also say his father he got because now they do paternity leave now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just told him I'm like you can do like 2 weeks when he's first born, but like save the rest for later. So we didn't even need like child somebody to watch him for the
Mm-hmm.
workday until like January or something like that.
That's
So
good.
that was good. And then my father, he happened to just retire the year before. So that's what I would say my other support came from him because he came in and we was because I work hybrid. So I
Mm-hmm.
would be which was a lot of work. It was finally about to be over. Oh my gosh. But I was watching him and working from home, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And and then on my in the office days, I would drive basically 2 hours because I was living in the city, and I
Mm-hmm.
would drive up to Baltimore County and drop my son off and then come back to work.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a lot. And then they had the nerve to like get on me if I was like 15 minutes late sometimes. I was
You're like,
like,
I've been in the car for 2 hours. Leave me alone, please. But okay, you're right.
yeah.
But shut up.
But yeah, like I would say both my parents, they were a good support system. And then, my son's father, he was good.
So, um, listeners, not just jumping a lot today. I don't care. So, okay, you said both your parents helped you. So like after you had your kid, do you feel like Oh, not even just after. During the past 2 years, has it made you give your parents more grace? I mean, I'm sure your parents are amazing, but you know what I'm saying? Like with decisions that you hated when you were a kid, or even just being like one time I looked at my kid and I was like, oh my God, I love you so much. I was like, is this how my parents feel about me? But like just things like that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, but I like, so my childhood, it was a very high emotion childhood. It was a lot of drama and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I already began to forgive them before I even was pregnant. So
Mm-hmm.
I already started extending grace, or and I already was like, well, I understand his side, I understand
Mm-hmm.
her side, and I understand they were human and they did the best they could.
Yeah.
But I also knew that certain things was wrong. So but I could say like, yeah, I guess I extended them grace probably more, and but it also gave me like this, because I think I get paranoid sometimes about making similar mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen like a few things like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this situation is a little bit similar to that situation, so I need to like really make sure that I don't do it the same way. So we don't have the same, because I don't want
Mm-hmm.
him to feel, my son to feel certain ways that I have felt when I was
Yeah.
a kid. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And another jump. Because you mentioned that you breastfed. I really
Yeah.
want to talk about something else, but I feel like this is more pertinent first. How did
Mhm.
that go? Were you properly informed? Like, did you have support? How was that journey? I guess to say.
I think it was because I knew I wanted to breastfeed, and I heard that it lowered your chances of having breast cancer if
Mm-hmm.
you I just like the benefit, and I'm kind of not all the way, but I'm a little bit of a holistic type of person. So I was definitely into breastfeeding, and it saves some money. So I was like, cool, let's do it, let's do it,
Same
and then.
thing.
And that's one of the things I did want to, I guess, heal, because I never liked that my mom said that she didn't breastfeed me. She didn't,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to break that.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I want to try to, and I want to have that bond, with my son. And, yeah, but I feel like it was pretty good. The only thing that made it like a little stressful though was when I went back to work. They had a lactation room there,
Mm-hmm.
but when I used it, it seemed like it was a little bit of a problem. So like, a little bit of microaggression, or
Yeah.
so I was like, I don't know. I started, which is bad. I started just waiting till I came home, and I would come home with like big
Mm-hmm.
full breasts, like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I had to pump when I got home. But I just remember when I was using it, it was just like, what are you doing in there?
It's called a lactation room.
Yeah, I was like, what is it here for?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just stopped using it because I just didn't even want. And somebody locked it once, so I was like, oh, okay. So yeah.
That was literally the next question. That's why I asked about breastfeeding first, because I was about to ask about your transition back to work.
Oh.
That's insane. Why would you? Okay.
Yeah, I like, because I actually just did, well, the start to my exit interview, and where I
Mm-hmm.
had to, just answer some of their questions and stuff. And I like, in a nice way, obviously, a professional manner, but I let a lot be known that it was already known, to
Mm-hmm.
my managers, but I let it be known to the company, like, this is what's going on. Like, because my
Yeah.
transition back to work was not like, it was actually, it was hectic. Like, I definitely did not appreciate my manager at the time, because I switched departments for
Mm-hmm.
how he handled me integrating back into work.
Yeah. And how was it emotionally? Like you've been with your baby for 4 months, and then you just gotta go back to work, and it doesn't sound like they were nice about it. So.
It was very depressing to me, because yeah, I was just like, I felt like I was abandoning him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like yeah, it just felt like abandonment. And like I said, I always had wanted this. I always wanted to be a mom, and I'm just like, it's over that quick, like, because I want to feel like I raised him, like.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like my time was being taken away to work, or when I was working from home and I was caring for him, and obviously I, not neglecting like seriously, but I
I know
had to
what you mean.
ignore him a little bit,
Yeah.
like, so I can do my work. And it was a bad feeling to me. I didn't like that. Yeah.
I literally was about to say something. Oh God.
Editing is lovely.
Oh, what the hell was I about to say? Sometimes I just leave it in there because I'm a human being and
Yes,
I make mistakes.
exactly. Authenticity.
I don't remember, but okay, whatever. So on the other side, this is just more jumping. Oh, you mentioned it was a bit depressing.
Mm.
So like outside of that, did you? I feel like I'm yelling. Did you experience any other like feelings, like yeah, postpartum depression or like postpartum anxiety, or just like even just being overwhelmed? Because I mean, it's overwhelming.
Yeah,
So.
I definitely was overwhelmed a lot. I don't know if I ever had postpartum depression. I mean,
Hmm.
because I feel like I don't know. Ooh, things you don't say out loud. I don't know.
This is a safe space. However, if you want me to cut it, we cut it. But this is still a safe space.
Wait, because okay.
I promise
So
you, I've either felt it or heard it before. So there's that.
because like they have like you fill out the form
Hmm.
and then they ask you the question. I never put, if I did feel like it, I wouldn't put it
Hmm.
down because for some reason in the back of my head I always have this fear that somebody's going to try to take my kid away.
Yeah.
So I'm fine. Nothing's
I knew that's
wrong.
what you were going to say. So yeah.
Nothing is wrong with me. I thankfully have never had though, like feelings of harming my baby. I know some people have go through that, but I've
Hmm.
never had feelings of that. I did have feelings of like not feeling. I don't know if that is considered a feeling. I thought about it, like, but it's
Hmm.
like I had a daydream about it or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know if that's considered what that is, but I don't know.
Probably like anxiety. Like you just would worry something was happening, was going to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, I would just well, yeah, it is because I feel like I had anxiety anyway before before my
Yeah.
son, and I would make scenarios, and I would be crying from the
Hmm.
scenario that never even happened.
But it's in your head and it feels very real.
Yes, like
Hmm.
it like very real. It's really
Hmm.
weird.
Yeah.
So
All right. That's what I was about to say. So postpartum,
yeah.
because we still there. How was that on your relationship? If you want to talk about it, because the breath, like,
It
because
was detrimental to it.
hmm.
Yeah, like it's the relationship is well, it's the father of my child, so it's like it's always sometimes you what if or
Hmm.
maybe in the future or something like that. But for right now we're co-parents. And I actually like it that way, especially with me going to school
Hmm.
and everything else. And I'm not married. He didn't propose. So I feel like I'm just living my independent
Hmm.
mom life, and it's working out for us. Obviously we have bumps on the road and stuff like that, but I don't know, it was like with, I guess, back to the boundaries thing. It was just certain boundaries I was like, I don't see this for myself, like.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I feel like I'm a little bit more like we organized and having future plans, and I know certain goals I want to see happen and income come in.
Hmm.
And some people are, I guess, a little bit more lax, and
Yeah.
like I'm just here, and I'm just like I feel I'm real like, oh, legacy,
Yeah.
like.
I know you were looking at schools. Seems that the test
Yeah.
positive.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like, where's the A's and the B's? And I think
Hmm.
that also comes from my childhood because my mom was not like that with me. She was like, well, I was a C student, so I'm not
Hmm.
gonna. But I'm like, but I feel like if I feel like children need structure. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And if maybe if I had A's and B's, or my education was taken a bit more seriously, I would be in a different situation than I had to get through on my own. So I
Hmm.
don't want that for him. And
Yeah.
I'm taking it very seriously. And I
Yeah.
would want my partner or my spouse to take it seriously too. And I think we
Hmm.
just had a disconnect
Yeah.
on all that stuff. And he probably also, I know the man feeling neglected thing, that was also a factor. But I guess on the women's side, it's because you're not helping out enough.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It can be
the
fun.
typical. Yeah.
Not the difficult.
I'm a statistics like now, but
Don't would you say that? Technically,
but
technically,
I'm just
everybody's a
saying.
statistic.
I think the way
technically.
to be happy though is just it is what it is.
It is.
That's what it is. So yeah,
And
I'm okay.
a statistic who's about to be a licensed social worker. So I mean,
And I can definitely I would definitely openly talk to other women about my experience of
hmm
being a single mom or a co-parenting mom, whatever, because I don't really want to say I'm a single mom because he comes over, he helps, he doesn't not do anything, but yeah, I do more. But yeah, if we're gonna
Rachel.
be real, if we're gonna be real, we're gonna be real. But
Yes.
yeah.
And then, I mean, again, like you said, he's a father and he does his thing, but it's always like to Nigel, it feels like a man could take the kid like to school and it's like, oh my God, you're such an amazing dad. And it's like, that's his fucking job, bro. Like,
I
he
don't.
has to go to school.
Thank you. I don't. And that's another thing. And I know that's where we had our disconnects at because
hmm
I don't want to give you a cookie for doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what you're supposed to do. You're the mom. I mean, you're
You
the
ain't
dad.
say
I'm the
nothing to
mom.
me
Yeah. I
when
want
I
to
breastfed him.
say
Like,
every couple hours, like,
yeah.
I'm the one waking up. Like, that's just what I'm supposed to do. So this is what you're supposed to do. Like, yes, a lot of ain't-ish fathers, but goodness gracious.
Okay, this about to piss me off. Sorry. This is my charger. And I was like, why does it keep my the light would keep like dimming on and off. I'm sorry.
You're cool.
But yes. Okay, we'll kind of go back to that. You okay. My brain is jumping. Okay. We're almost done. Because we're almost at like 2 years old now.
Yeah.
Um so with obviously we talked about how your relationship changed. But how like did your any of your friendships change for the better or for the worse? Or like and how did you feel about your body? Because also your body goes through changes.
For friendships, I would say, I guess my friendships changed, but I always had the same kind of group of friends. Like,
hmm
so I would say that my friendships changed, like, they grew more like family.
hmm
Whereas, like, I don't know, like I would say right now, I want friends because I feel like now my friends that I've had, they're like my sisters and my cousins. Like
hmm
that's how it feels. Like So I mean, I guess that means that they're. I feel like I know they're not going anywhere. So it just solidified it. They came in clutch when I needed. Like, oh, can you watch it for an hour? Like, so I
hmm
can do this real quick. Like, so yeah, I would say my friendships they got stronger. I haven't lost any friends since having him. What was the second question? The
Oh, your body. I was like, girl.
my body. What question? But my body. So I had lots of ups and downs with it. At first I really liked it because I was like, I was big body. I was like, ooh, this is nice. Like I felt voluptuous.
Okay. That big body is crazy.
Yes. I did like because I always been like a skinny girl, like little itty bitty girl, So I was like, it was different feeling. I felt like I was a different, it was a new body for
hmm
sure. But I did have a moment where I was like, I'm not really liking this that much. I think it was when I was getting towards the end of my breastfeeding, obviously when things start to fall a bit. So
hmm
I was
They
like,
definitely
ooh,
do.
yeah. I was like, oh, I don't. I'm like something needs to. So I started working out. So
hmm
I don't know. Ever since I've been working out probably for like 3 months now. Sometimes it's not consistent, but maybe 4 months actually. I was consistent at first and I fell off a little bit, and now I just do home workouts, and that's been
hmm
working really good with my little weights that I got.
hmm
And I, ever since then, I feel like I like my body again. Like it's different than it was before, but I like it.
Yeah. It also brought a whole human being into the world. So there's
Yes, and
that.
I appreciate it. And I'm like, I mean, I had a little bit of stretch marks before, just
hmm
off of, I guess, being a woman. I don't know, but uh, I don't mind my stretch marks or my little bit of extra skin on my stomach or whatever.
hmm
I don't mind it.
And so I feel like we as in this generation of women, whatever mothers, whatever, are doing a pretty good job of like not losing themselves in motherhood or relationships or blah 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 whatever. I feel
Hmm.
like it's just those two really. So how did you make sure not to? I'm assuming because I've seen you out. I'm assuming you haven't lost yourself in motherhood. How did you make sure that you didn't lose yourself in motherhood?
I made sure I didn't lose myself in motherhood by making sure I didn't lose myself. No, because like I think everybody is so good about it now because we've
Mm-hmm.
seen like movies and documentaries and like the 1950s housewife and all of that, and we've seen our parents, and I don't think that nobody wants that
Yeah.
anymore. Like everybody's like, wait, why are women being?
FTK.
Yeah, like I'm no, no, like nobody. Everybody's like, no, I don't deserve that. Especially if we're working too. We're
Yeah.
working too. We're doing the same thing the man's doing. So it's like, why are we supposed to sit at home and be depressed and hate ourselves and just
Yeah.
devote our whole lives to our baby? Have you ever seen the movie The Stoning of Soraya M? I don't know,
That was a
but
long title. Give it to me again.
The Stoning of Soraya M. It was a great that movie. I saw that movie in college. It was on Netflix for a little while at one point, and that movie woke me up to like. I don't really want to say I'm a feminism because I'm also pro black, but
Mm-hmm.
that movie made me like feministic
Mm-hmm.
ish, like yeah, because I was like it was in the Arab, country, and she was stoned in her in her town for looking at or allegedly
I
looking
was
at a
hoping that
man.
was like a metaphor, but all right. Like the title.
No, she was she was actually in her for her son to watch, and he threw one too, and it really showed her fan. Like yeah, her fan. She was devoted, because it was they're very.
Mm-hmm.
I get was religious strict. I don't want to say strict. That sounds bad, but yeah.
I
Uh,
follow.
yeah, I don't know the right word
Yeah,
to use,
but I follow.
but yeah, and she was devoted wife and mom and did everything right. And just because someone spread a rumor about her for whatever reason, then it got across the
We
whole
about to go on a
town.
tangent.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
tell you that.
sorry.
No, no, no. It's perfectly fine. It won't last for more than 3 minutes. But
Yeah.
you know what that remind me of is the. I'm trying not to curse. I'm really trying. I'm trying to be the Lord's child. The internet right now is in shambles because of Megan
Oh,
Stallion, the Cassie, and the what's the other baby name? Haley, or
Haley.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Haley.
Yes. And that's what reminded me of. It's like honestly, it's just like why don't y'all believe people? Not what like Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
tangent, but you get what I'm
No,
saying.
I do. I don't know what the. I didn't see the Megan Thee Stallion thing. I saw it, but I don't know what happened.
Apparently, like Kelsey's bodyguard said that really Kelsey shot Megan and Tori took the fall for it. But like that doesn't. I mean, again, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. But I just, you
I don't.
know,
That
Megan
doesn't
didn't even
sound
want to
right.
like. Megan didn't even want to like tell on Tori. But whatever. In conclusion, the
Why would he,
people
okay,
hate
but
men. Women. People hate women, and
no,
I
because
feel
I've
like that
been
shows in
blocking
motherhood too.
stuff.
But oh,
It
girl, I done followed a few
does.
people
Yeah,
because
I've
like.
been blocking so many stuff on X or whatever because like I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
see. I've been seeing mostly the Haley. Isn't it Haley or
Mm-hmm.
Hallie? But
And then they calling her a bitter baby mother. Like you don't know what they like. You don't know because you were not there. And why are you calling
it
her baby mother?
it
And
was
like,
making me mad.
sorry, I keep
No,
going.
no, no,
No.
no, no. Yeah, it was making me so mad. Like I don't know how many pages I blocked because I'm just like, why are people having all these think pieces and all these fake information and
Yeah.
I don't know. Like and some people that are not all there, they're gonna eat it up, and now you have a bunch of hater followers.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like the algorithm always shows you which. That's a lie, but the algorithm usually shows you what you agree with. So they thinking they right, and it's like no, you just follow a bunch of idiots who agree with
Yes.
you. Like you're wrong, actually.
Oh my gosh, like that's real bad. Like that poor girl. But
Yeah. And then it's just like y'all make it so like people don't want to tell their truth, basically, because it's like
exactly,
you're
because
telling
then
me I'm
you'll be
lying.
crucified. You'll
Yeah,
be crucified for saying what actually happened.
yeah.
Oh my
Um.
gosh.
Okay. My last question for you, because I think I hit it all, even though it was like boom, 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 boom. Let's go back this way, but
Yeah.
that's fine. What advice would you have for first time moms or like pregnant mothers, whatever? What would be your piece of advice for them?
Okay, you're already pregnant. So Uh,
Was it going to be don't get pregnant?
it's like, no, have that baby if you want. But
Have you want if
okay,
you want. If you
yeah,
want.
if you want, and don't have the man's baby. Don't have the baby for that man. Like, have it for you and your legacy. But yeah, so I would say like I would say just make sure that you're good. Like, always make sure that your mental is right. Like, don't you only have one child or one child in your belly right now, and I don't know if you got other kids, but that's all you need to worry about. Don't try to take care of your mother, your in-laws, your
Mm-hmm.
spouse or partner. Just focus on you. That's all. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
If
much.
you good, the baby good. Type of
Pretty
deal.
much, because the baby's going to get your stress and your worries and all that
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. Like, wouldn't you rather your baby get your happiness and your laughter and all that other stuff? Like, yeah.
I lied because I said that was the last question.
Okay.
I
What's
forgot.
the last question?
I have two enders. The other one is if you were to have another baby, what would you do differently? Whether that be pregnancy, birthing, or postpartum, like anything that you would do differently in your motherhood journey.
um, I would definitely see the man for what the man is or who the man is, and
Mm-hmm.
not, I was in La La Land a little bit, and that wasn't smart.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, the father wise, whether it's the same or, life takes me somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else, just want to make sure it's someone that is more, I guess, aligns more with what I want to
Mm-hmm.
do. And also I would like to try it. I would like to try natural.
Just like try what? You can do
Try.
it.
I would like to try, but I would also like to have something there.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. But I feel like I would definitely like to do a whole holistic type of thing where I'm
Mm-hmm.
like my whole diet changed before, and I'm drinking certain teas before, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
maybe a water birth possibly, like probably a water birth. Like, yeah, I would like to with the doula and have the I would like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like you said Maryland doesn't make it easy. I don't think like I couldn't find any birthing centers. There's
Yeah.
like either do it at home or do it at the hospital. Those are your two options. And
Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, I
yeah.
didn't even see any. When I looked on GBMC, they didn't even have. I know some hospitals might, but they didn't have any like rooms where there was like a bathtub or
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know what hospital that was, but I have seen a hospital have like a bathtub
Yeah.
area where you could do it that way, but GBMC didn't have that. They're supposed to be the number one
In what
hospital
world?
with.
Oh, girl, that face was not. In
No,
what
they
world is
not.
GBMC? Okay, whatever. I heard Mercy's really good.
Really?
It
Okay.
could be Mercy. I always say good things about Mercy, even if like the person C sections are not bad. But I'm saying, you know how sometimes people get C section, it's like I didn't want that. That was terrible. Even if the person has a C section, like they still say they had a good experience with the staff,
I'm
whatever.
gonna say I hear. I mean, nowadays with the way medical care is and everything, C
Hmm.
sections they seem like it's quick. The scar is not even like how it used to be. I think they used to
Yeah,
be
it's not.
scarred this way
Yeah, they
or
used to
something
do it
like
up and
that,
down. Now it's like here.
and it's real.
And yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just like I feel like you know how like you were saying earlier, that they didn't have a room for you or whatever. And I feel like I feel like in how you say he was just like, okay, let's go, let's do da 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 da. I feel like C sections play into that, like them
Mm-hmm.
sometimes giving C sections. Also, I am nobody. I am a spectator. I have not done research,
Me too.
but, but I just feel like sometimes it's like, all right, girl, you taking too long. We need this bed. Time to cut your ass open so we can get this baby. Sorry, Lord. I know I just said I was trying to stop cursing,
Mm.
but that's just what it seems like sometimes.
I agree. Because
Yeah.
yeah, like it felt like as soon as I got in there, Foley bulb, like as soon as I got in there, you want some
Mm-hmm.
the epidural, like it was very like they were trying to rush and get me out of there, like
Yeah.
so I agree.
Yeah. But all right. Thank you. Is there
uh,
anything you would like to leave the people with that I did not ask or anything?
no, I mean I don't know. I love women's rights, Black women's rights.
Heavy on the black women.
Yeah, it's heavy on the Black women's rights.
and stop villainizing them. But this is going to come out in Megan the Stallion, Cassie, and Haley, whatever that baby name is, will be old news. Her name is Halle Bailey. Okay, Halle,
Hallie. Okay.
Halle,
I
Halle,
said
because Halle
Haley.
Berry, Halle. It's the
Oh,
same as Halle Berry.
that
Um,
poor baby. Mm-mm.
yeah. So love black women. Okay.
I'm gonna say because all we ever done was love everybody else throughout all history.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But all right. Thanks for listening to another episode of me and Rachel jumping off the walls. Bye.
Bye.